During World War II, this plane, the P-51 Mustang, was developed as a long-range fighter escort to U.S. and Allied bomber squadrons. The Mustang, and the brave pilots who flew them, quickly turned the tide in the air campaign against Germany. One such pilot is retired Brigadier General Roland R. Wright.
It's just a special airplane. It was the supreme airplane of World War II.
After serving as a full-time missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, this 21-year-old from Blackfoot, Idaho, heard another call. This time, the call came from his country. Roland joined the Army Air Corps in 1942, shortly after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor.
My hope and dream was to be able to fly the P-51. It was called the Mustang.
Everybody had a name for their airplane. Quite often they had something to do with women.
My desire, even from the very beginning, if I got in the P-51, would be to name it the Mormon Mustang, because I was proud of my heritage, and I was very proud to have people know who I was.
Roland Wright painted the Mormon Mustang on actually 3 different planes before he was done. This is painted like his second airplane that he had.
We put Roland's name on the plane because he flew the Mormon Mustang. He shot down 3 planes during the war. The first one was a 262 jet, which you had to be very, very good to manage to intercept with a Mustang because they were at least 100 miles an hour faster.
This is a TBM Avenger.
The museum is here to honor our veterans. This particular plane is here to honor Roland Wright, a good Mormon boy who went to war, who lived his standards. He retired as a general, and we need to honor men like that, because were it not for men like that, we would not have the freedoms that we have today.
You up for this?
I'm up for it.
Okay.
He's just a great guy, 91 years old, and still loves to fly.
There's not many things in life that's better than this.
You're 90 years old, you get to go up in a P-51. You couldn't get any better than that. I found a lot of parallels between flying and what I find in the scriptures and life's experiences. You go to a unit, they're busily flying combat. They assume you've been trained. I remember the first day I went out to fly. I asked the flight leader if we were going to fly in the clouds. He looked at me and he says, well, you can fly formation, can't you? I said, yes, I can fly formation.
When you're flying formation, the precision of formation, the trust of flying formation, that brings things to a whole new level.
This is where you just get on my wing, we'll climb up through those clouds, and on top the sun will be shining. We can do all kinds of things. Now, whether he knew or not, I didn't know. The clouds are about 18,000 feet thick.
You're very dependent on each other because we fly close. You mess up and you can take a lot of people with you.
I got on his wing and I got vertigo so bad climbing up through those clouds. I thought he was climbing, I thought he was diving. And I'm trying to hang on to that wing, and when we finally break out on top, of course, everything's fine. But it was one of the best experiences I ever had because it taught me what vertigo was, and it motivated me to learn to fly in the clouds and rely on the flight instruments.
We doing okay, General?
Hey, this is great. I can't believe that sight of the Tetons.
The Tetons are magnificently beautiful and inherently dangerous. If an engine quits when you ride over the Tetons, you better do everything just right or you're going to be a statistic. We have to plan it out correctly so that we don't get hurt.
You have rules and regulations that you follow, and that preserves your life. In the scriptures, they're called commandments. You'll survive out here, and you'll learn to accomplish something if you'll just rely on those rules, because they are your flight instruments, and you won't get concerned with vertigo and think you're right and everybody else is wrong. It's just like pilots who lose their lives because they don't follow the rules.
Now is the time to obey. When flying an airplane, if you change your position by just 1 degree at a time, your inner ear cannot detect the change. When we practice selective obedience, we change our position relative to the Lord, and usually by only 1 degree at a time. As the deceptive forces of the adversary work on us, we cannot detect them, and we experience spiritual vertigo. While it may seem like we are going in a safe direction, we're in fact headed for disaster. In the pre-existence, our decision to follow the Lord was all or nothing. Following that pattern in life, through our mortal probation, will get each of us back to our Heavenly Father.